Well, let's get this party started. A couple more people jumping in. All right. So thank you everybody for joining the Zoom, our members, as well as the folks that are tuning in live on Facebook. If you don't know who I am, my name is John. We are doing this little live stream here to kind of kick off the year for SCCPE, the Southern California Carnivorous Plant Enthusiasts. If I move my big noggin, you can kind of see our banner logo behind my head. So joining me in the Zoom are the kind of active members and leaders of our club. And what we wanted to do was kind of talk about some of the things that are coming up for the first part of the year, actually a good chunk of the year for 2023. And then also for some of our new followers, talk about who we are as a club, a little bit as individuals, so that if you do come to one of our events or meetings, you know who we are and what you're signing up for. I'll start off by saying that we have a pretty healthy presence on social media. It is going to continue to get better, but you can definitely find us on Facebook as well as Instagram. We do have a YouTube channel. I'm a little bit behind, or still behind, on uploading videos, largely due to the fact that I had all of my computer equipment stolen in November of last year. So I haven't been able to do anything since then, and I was already behind on that point. So anyhow, YouTube's going to get going again now that I have another computer now, and things like that. But I do have some recordings of past meetings and Zoom meetings, things like that I want to upload, but a handful of those did get lost. The ones that I was working on, that active projects, got lost because they were in the computer that got stolen. So at any rate, that's that. We are a nonprofit group. We're a club of carnivorous plant enthusiasts. We are mostly out of the Southern California area. However, we do have members from Oregon and other states. Jeff is joining us on the Zoom. He's a huge supporter, Cobra Green on social media, and he's up in the just north of Portland. So we've got him on our Zoom. He comes out to all of our meetings and events, and then also Bryce, who used to live in Southern California, who's now in NorCal. So we've got support from afar, very, very active members, leaders. So thank you. Also on the call is, I'll just mention the officers real quick. So Rupert is on with us on Zoom. He is our VP as well as secretary. And then we also have Braulio, who is our treasurer, on the call. And then everybody else on the Zoom, I don't know if the live folks can see the whole Brady Bunch screen or not, but we've got about a dozen additional members, our most active members / leaders, who help definitely contribute to running the club and meetings, et cetera, et cetera. So in a nutshell, I guess I'll talk about what our meetings look like first. We typically meet on odd numbered months. That was intentionally done because there is another carnivorous plant club just north of us in the LA area that meets on even numbered months. And so we wanted to stagger that. So on odd numbered months, we have a meeting usually in the Orange County area. And that typically looks like members selling plants, carnivorous plants and related items, as well as a presentation of some sort and other fundraising activities. So that usually takes place around the third Saturday, second Saturday, something like that, of odd numbered months, unless we have another event going on in lieu of having a regular meeting. So you know what, let me do something real quick. Sorry guys, I have my chat open for the Zoom, but I also want to keep an eye on the Facebook chat to see if anything comes up. Okay, cool. And then if other folks that are on the Zoom, I don't know if any of you guys are paying attention to the Facebook chat, but if anything comes up, just stop me and let me know. Very good. So anyway, meetings. So we're going to go into kind of what our schedule looks like. Where can you find meeting information? So on our website, we'll be adding meeting details kind of as they come up. We didn't want to flood the website with the whole year right off the bat and get people confused. So we usually do 1 or 2 meetings in advance, or 2 or 3 months in advance, so that you guys can save the date sort of thing. But on Facebook, we will preload every single event, meeting, etc., that we're going to be participating in or hosting. So Facebook is a great place to keep an eye on the event section of our Facebook page. So, and I believe, I mean, if you're watching this live, you know what our Facebook page looks like. Cool. So any questions or comments from anybody regarding just kind of club basics before I go on into the schedule? All right. So far, so good. All right. So let's talk about the year a little bit. Our first meeting of the year, we had our very first meeting ever as a club, March of 2020. And then 2 weeks later, the world shut down. So our first meeting of the year, a formal meeting, get together, is going to be March 25th. And that's going to be in Mission Viejo at the Norman Murray Senior Center. So that's the same location we had our meeting of March of 2022. And as usual, we will have a cake to celebrate, our first meeting of the year, as well as ever as a club. So that'll be super fun. Our presentation that day will be in person by Jim Booman of Booman Floral. He's a huge nursery, a huge contributor to the carnivorous plant hobby, as well as other plants. He's a nurseryman. They have a huge piece of property up in northern San Diego County. They specialize in tropical plants, begonias, carnivorous plants of all sorts. And he is actually the gentleman behind mass producing and mass marketing Sarracenia, Venus flytraps to big box stores many, many years ago. So his heart is in sharing the love of carnivorous plants and information of carnivorous plants and getting new, especially young people involved in plants in general. And so he's going to come out, he's going to talk about breeding Sarracenia and how he approaches that aspect of growing plants. So that'll be a super informative, super good meeting. Again, March 25th. I forget what time we're going to start, but it's usually early afternoon. If you go on our Facebook page, I loaded the time in there, so you can see it in there. And of course, plants are going to start waking up around that time. Probably not the Sarracenias, but they may start to flower and things like that. So there may be some great deals on some dormant plants, but definitely a bunch of our members are going to come out and sell plants. So if you're looking for your first shot at buying some decent looking plants, that's a great meeting to come to. So that's March. In April, the 20th through the 23rd. So it's I believe it's a 4-day event. It is open, I think, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that is the Spring Garden Show in Costa Mesa. That's at South Coast Plaza. It's a big annual garden show. Lots of different plant organizations and retailers, vendors will be there at the mall. We take up several floors, kind of in between all the stores and the central walkway areas, the kiosk areas against the handrails, dozens and dozens of vendors. We were at the show last year. We had a great time. We did very well. Our booth was very popular. And so we will be returning this year. And again, that's April 20th through the 23rd at South Coast Plaza, the Spring Garden Show. And then in May, so something we're going to do new this year, there is an event that's been going on for decades at the Los Angeles Natural History Museum, and it's called the Bug Fair. And so it's obviously an invertebrate / insect focused event. However, as weird as it may be, carnivorous plants have been a part of that show for a long time. And so Don Elkins of Mesa Exotics has been vending there and selling carnivorous plants for many, many years. And some of our very active members of our club actually got their start in carnivorous plants by meeting Don at that show. So we've been invited to attend and vend this year. So we are planning to have a few tables at that show. The dates are May 20th through the 21st. And again, that's at the Los Angeles Natural History Museum. So because of that, we will likely not have a normal meeting in May. Instead, we'll probably do some sort of online get together, something like this, either a Zoom meeting or just an announcement update sort of thing, because we're going to get really, really busy as summer comes around with a whole bunch of events, not just ours, but also other clubs and organizations that we want to support and participate in. And that time of year, it gets really busy for anybody into plants, any kind of plants. So anyway, Bug Fair, May 20th, 21st, we will be in LA for that. The next event that I want to mention is our Skippy's big show and sale. This year, we will be returning to the Sherman Library and Gardens down in Corona del Mar, which is over by Newport, right on the coast. We will have our usual 2-day event there, Saturday, Sunday, and that's Father's Day weekend, June 17th and 18th. And we will have a whole bunch of people there, lots of big name vendors. I have started kind of reaching out to some of the big names that told me that they were interested in coming out this year. So once we get those people confirmed, we'll add that information in. And so our sales area is second to none. We literally blow the doors off of the facility, the venue, and they're super excited to have us again. So that'll be fun. And then of course our show. I'm pretty proud to say that Skippy puts on a pretty darn good show of plants. We've had over 100 entries each of the last 2 years, so that's been fantastic. World-class displays of carnivorous plants. So if you want to see what specimen plants look like, you can come check them out at our show. Of course, I don't know if you could see Jeff's tile. I keep looking at his little tile on Zoom, and behind him is a mountain of, it looks like Sarracenia. So anyway, so our big show and sale, again, that's June 17 and 18 at the Sherman Library and Gardens down in the Newport Beach area. Oh, did somebody have something? No, we're good. Okay, so that's super exciting. We're definitely going to get really busy planning for that here in the near future. And we will make lots and lots of announcements for that coming up here over the next few months. The next thing I want to mention is also in June. So BACPS reached out to me recently to confirm our show date because they are in the planning stages of their show. So typically they have their show early June. However, the venue that they've used for the last couple years, oh, wow. What is that, Jeff? Is that a block of ice from?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, Jeff, if you didn't hear earlier, is up in Oregon, and it's a little bit colder in Oregon than Southern California. And he's holding up looks like a 12 by 12 inch, half-inch thick sheet of ice. At any rate, so back to BACPS. They told me that the weekend that they typically do their show wasn't available, and so they were thinking about doing it Father's Day weekend. But I said, hey guys, we have our show. So they're now considering the following weekend, June 24th, to be their show, but they have not confirmed yet. They're also exploring other venue opportunities to see if they can still have their show towards the beginning of June. So stay tuned for more information. BACPS has supported us as a baby club from day one, and we're definitely appreciative of that and want to support them as much as we can. I've gone up for the last 2 years during their show to kind of help volunteer and participate. So I would love to do the same again this year. Sandy, what you got?
Joshua in the Zoom chat said the Facebook event for the March meeting says March 18th, not the 25th.
Oh, that's a problem. Is that what it says? Okay. Josh, I will look into that and fix it as needed. Huh. I do see that. I will confirm the date. Thank you, Josh. Oh boy. All right. Yeah, as soon as this meeting's over, I will either fix the date or post and confirm that it's going to be the 18th. Okay, thanks for the heads up. Cool. So BACPS, stay tuned for that information. If you guys haven't been to their show, it's super cool. It's huge. They probably have more visitors than we do, but they have a lot of big names in that area. So they always have plant offerings that are super cool and things that you don't necessarily see down here because they have some more seasoned growers up there, large greenhouses. Of course, California Carnivores is up there. So, that they're in the process of moving, but they're moving to upgrade to bigger facilities to give you an idea of what their scale and scope looks like. So, yeah, stay tuned for more BACPS information. Next up, so July 8th and 9th, the second weekend in July, is the Reptile Super Show in Anaheim. We are definitely going to be there. Skippy will be there. Hopefully our plants will be nice and awake and beautiful looking by then. We were at the last show up in Pomona earlier this month, and unfortunately most of the plants were dormant. So the Sarracenias didn't sell too well, but a lot of the tropical species did, the Droseras and the Nepenthes and things like that. But by July, I expect that all the plants will be in full swing. And that's a great show to attend as well. Probably the biggest reptile focused show in the country, I would suspect. At least maybe not that particular event, but the Super Show series in general. They have several events every year, and we're going to go to all 3 this year. So that's the Reptile Super Show, July 8th and 9th. You guys can come see us out there. So again, because of that show, we may or may not have a meeting in July. Typically, we have kind of a fun, low-key get-together in July, kind of wind down from our super busy show the previous month. So we may still do that, something informal, no presentation, just kind of a thing for members as well as, you know, new and old to come and hang out and socialize. So we may do that later in the month, but our focus for that month, for July, will definitely be the Super Show. And then up next in August is the San Diego show. So the calendar at the Balboa Park website says they are the 2nd weekend in August because that's what they had committed to previously. But the Succulent and Cactus Society in San Diego requested to swap weekends. So I believe the new date, even though it's not showing on the Balboa Park website, is going to be August 5th through 6th. Josh, can you confirm that? I know Josh Cho is in our Zoom, whether or not that change has been formally made. But for now, I believe it was verbally agreed to. So we're going to keep that on our calendar for August 5th and 6th. And again, that's the San Diego Carnivorous Plant Society show. And so please do go out and check that out if you're able. I am hoping that Skippy will have some sort of presence there to either volunteer and support and or sell plants or something. But we definitely want to help that club as well. So again, that's August 5th and 6th is what's penciled in for now. Also in August, so I mentioned the Reptile Super Show. Their 2nd summer event is August 12th through 13th, and that is also in Pomona. And if I'm not mistaken, that is probably in terms of attendance, the biggest show that they do. And so the January show was jam-packed both days, but the August show, believe it or not, will be even more jam-packed. And we are planning to be there as well. So that is August 12th through 13th at the Los Angeles Fairplex in Pomona, and that's the Reptile Super Show. So that is kind of the big list of events that we got going on for the first big chunk of the year. I didn't mention September yet because I don't have a date, but we are expecting to have a regular meeting in September, date and venue to be determined. But that's probably going to be the next regular meeting we have. So our first regular meeting is coming up in March, and then we have a whole bunch of events for 6 months. And then we'll have a regular, quote unquote, regular meeting in September. So we'll announce those details when they come up. But that gives you kind of a good idea of what's going on. Let's see. Michelle is telling me that we have it on the 18th and SDCPS is the 25th. Okay. All right. Again, I may have fumbled the March meeting date. So anyway, we'll correct that right after this meeting, I promise. Are there any questions or comments from anybody else, from either the folks on the Zoom or from Facebook? Anybody or any of the other clubs? So there was a question about participation in the Zoom. So just to clarify what our meetings look like, we want people to come and learn about carnivorous plants. Maybe even buy some carnivorous plants. So our meetings are generally just open to anybody, visitors. You can come to as many meetings as you want and not be a member, because we want the information to be as accessible as possible, as well as the plants. We do, however, appreciate people joining our club because the membership dues help pay for some of our club expenses. But in terms of coming to visit, checking us out, They are definitely free and open to the public. We try to Zoom even our in-person meetings so that if you're out of town that particular date, or you just kind of want to see what our meetings look like without making the drive, or if you're a little bit shy or not feeling well, things like that, we definitely try to do a Zoom and live stream that on Facebook as well. And then, like I mentioned earlier, eventually we will be posting those meetings on YouTube as well. So yeah, if you're interested in just checking us out, what we're about, what carnivorous plants are like, you've never kept carnivorous plants or never been in a club, totally fine. We have lots of new faces that visit us all the time, and we really enjoy that part of the community and being a part of the club. Let's see, anybody else? Jeff, why don't you tell us what you got going on? Do you have any other events that you're going to be at selling your awesome carnivorous plants? Because I think you're going to a reptile event somewhere, aren't you?
I'm going to be doing something. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, I'm going to be going, I think, down to Pleasanton in the next month, down in the Bay Area to a reptile show. After that, I don't think I have anything planned until April. A couple more reptile shows in Redding and Sacramento, and some stuff here locally. And then come June, everything gets busy. Come June,
That's
I live
right.
in your. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if BACPS is going to stick with that first weekend. That's kind of what I've been hoping for their sale. We'll see that the weekend after Skippy, there's, I think, a show in San Jose, I want to say. So I don't really know. I got to get all that sorted out. But yeah, it's going to be a busy year. It's going to be so busy. I'm planning to do San Diego as well, and been talking to Jerry Addington about maybe coming down and doing some of this stuff if they have time as well. And yeah, so it's going to be a busy summer.
Cool. And then also in June, Don's not on the call here, but again, I'll mention Don Elkins from Mesa Exotic. He normally goes to the Los Angeles or the International Fern Society show, and that's also in June at the LA Arboretum. So I don't know if they're going to do that show this year or not, because there's construction going on at the LA Arboretum, and they're using about half of that Aries Hall for staff while it's under construction. So I know that area is kind of busy, and I don't know if construction's going to be to a point where they can have another show there, but that's typically in June as well. So
I think August is when they plan to be done with that construction, because the Orchid
Yeah.
Society that meets there had to change their schedule until after August.
well, I'm in the construction industry, and I know that when we think something's going to end in August, that means October, November.
Correct.
So, yeah. So don't hold your breath there, but yeah, cool. Any other events that people want to know, that people want to talk about, even if it's not a Skippy event, somewhere where people can see carnivorous plants? I know Vincent and Sandy do a lot of pop-ups and other events externally. I don't know if there's anything on the books you want to mention.
No, I don't think we have anything scheduled anytime soon.
Not yet,
Just-
anyway.
Nope, not yet. We'll see. Just Skippy stuff for now.
Cool. Vincent, anything? I just see a shoulder and a rack of cool plants.
He keeps blocking the plants. Dude, move out of the way. We can't
Yeah,
see
get
the
out of the way,
plants.
Sorry, I don't have
Vincent.
any room in here.
We don't want to see you. We want to see your plants.
Oh, okay, my bad. Sorry.
And what's your
No, I
website,
don't
Vincent?
have
What's your website again?
carnivorousgreenhouse.com.
That's right, carnivorousgreenhouse.com. And you don't have anything yet on the calendar?
No, nothing yet. I don't know. I've been busy doing like so much stuff. I haven't looked into like other shows and stuff, but you know, I always like to go to as many as I can. So there might be some that pop up.
Cool. Cool. Okay. Well, I don't have much else planned to talk about, really. I just wanted to make sure that we actually, engaged a little bit this month, since we don't have a meeting in January typically. Plants are dormant, people are kind of resting, so we like to not have a meeting in January. And then also just do this little live stream here in case anybody's got questions about our club or anything like that. So
I'm sorry to say that Jeff might not be the guy traveling the farthest this year, because I have tentatively a guy coming from Georgia. He grows orchids, but he also grows carnivorous plants. So he's
Wow.
trying to gather quite a few plants to bring over and participate in our show.
From Georgia.
From Georgia, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, Braulio, I think you're forgetting about your friend Brian.
Well, but he's not bringing. Oh, he might be bringing plants too.
Oh, well, all right.
yes.
Well, I mean, in
yes.
terms of traveling, because he's already
Yeah,
mentioned in the
true,
Facebook that he
yes.
booked his flight.
Yeah, but as vendors are concerned.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, cool. Yeah, because for those people that don't know who Brian is, he flew out to our show last year to be a judge, all the way from Costa Rica, So the furthest prize definitely goes to Brian. And he just mentioned in the Facebook chat that he is booking his flights again for this year. So definitely thankful for him coming all the way out. Cool. And then, it may be too early to mention this, but a couple weeks ago at the Reptile Super Show, Drew from Carnivero approached us and mentioned that he's interested in coming out to our show. So Carnivero from Texas may be joining us in June for our show. So that's pretty exciting as well. All righty.
Good deal. Good deal.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Anything else?
As you
go
mentioned,
ahead.
maybe the Sherman is gonna be a little too small for us next year.
Yeah. I don't want to jinx us or count our chickens before they hatch, but I'm really hoping that our turnout this year is even bigger and better than the previous 2 years. And that would definitely mean we need to find a bigger venue to have our show. And that's something I would love to do, but also would hate to do because I love the Sherman Library and Gardens. They've been super supportive of us.
Me too.
Giving us a beautiful venue while COVID was still an issue. The venues, it looks great. They have a bog garden, and it's affordable for us to have our show there and keep it free for the visitors. But if we get too big, we get too big, and that's a great problem to have. So we'll see what that looks like. If a lot of our followers and fans show up, we will definitely be looking for a bigger venue for future shows.
Well, we haven't started using their parking lot yet, so.
Yeah.
That's what I told John.
Well, their parking lot is so tiny anyway. Parking's an issue as well. That's a concern for me because their main parking and their overflow parking gets full. And I know people have to street park sometimes a couple blocks away. So I'm not a big fan of that. And so, parking is another reason why we would need to find a different venue, the limited parking. Bryce, I know you muted yourself, but I want you to tell us what you're doing.
Hey there, John, and everybody else.
Howdy.
It's Skippy. Thanks for putting this together this morning. It's I live in Santa Rosa, so about an hour and a half north of San Francisco, and it's been raining. We got about 30 inches of rain since January 2nd. Haven't had much time to be out in the garden potting everything up, so I'm shifting Sarracenias. Got a couple hundred done this morning already, but there are several more to go, as you see all that there. So, but yeah, John, thank you so much for putting this together, and good to see everybody.
Are you going to be coming down to our show this year, or do you have something else going on?
Well, I don't know. You got a bunch of big names coming. If you have room for me, I'd love to show up.
We always have room for you, Bryce.
Then yes, I'm planning to be there. Yeah, thank you.
Excellent. We miss you, man. So
Miss you too.
Yeah, very cool. All righty. Any other questions, comments, events to flag, anything else while we're live? Otherwise, I've got stuff I need to do as well. Hey, Hong Ran or Josh, I know I didn't mention the San Diego meetings. Are there any coming up that you want to talk about real quick? Dates, presentations, or anything like that?
Yeah, so next, we just had our January meeting last week. That was a great success. We had more people than we expected showing up for the San Diego meetings. It was a lot of new faces as well. But our next San Diego just general meeting is March 25th which is why I asked for clarification on your guys' next March meeting, because it sounded like a conflict. But yeah, ours is the San Diego Carnivorous Plant meeting is March 25th. That's Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon. And that's going to be at Balboa Park. And for more information, feel free to reach out to any of the members here, and then they can get in contact with us. Or you can just search up San Diego Carnivorous Plant Society.com, and it's our website, or find us on Facebook. And it has the list of all the events, regular meetings at least, coming up for this year. Yeah, so the immediate next one is March 25th, and then the one after that is May 27th. So those are kind of the 2 dates to kind of keep on lock. And then the rest of the dates are available again on our Facebook or on our website.
Excellent. And I will definitely be including that in the email newsletters when I get that started up again for Skippy. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the newsletter, you can find there's a link in the Facebook. I'll also post a new link on the page so it's fresh for everybody. But we like to share all of the upcoming meetings and event dates down at the bottom for everything that I know about. So that goes all the way up to BACPS, and includes LACPS and San Diego. So, because we have followers from all over and people travel. And if you happen to be in San Diego a particular weekend that there's something going on, we really want you to go and support and visit them and the other carnivorous plant societies as well. So while Josh was talking, I did go back and I verified that our meeting is March 18th. My bad. I started off the meeting with a big fat error, foot in my mouth. Our first meeting of the year is March 18th. So come see us on the 18th in Mission Viejo, and then go visit Josh down in San Diego on the 25th. Cool. Apologies, but thank you, Josh, for bringing that up. All right. Cool. I don't see anybody from the LA club on that could maybe give us some insight on what's coming up, but I do know that they have a meeting in February. It'll be up in the Pasadena area again. So you can go see their website for that meeting information. Let me see. I think it's lacps.org, .net. I'm going to check real quick. Yeah, lacps.org. Yeah, if you go there, there is a meeting information there. And like I said, I know they have one scheduled in February in the Pasadena area. So it is February 18th. And if you want the address, it's at a private residence, so it's not publicly posted. But if you're on their mailing list or part of their club, you'll get the address and the details. But that's February 18th in the Pasadena area for LACPS. All righty. Do we have anything else from anybody? Oh, this is a quick one. Okay, well, Jeff can go back to breaking ice and Bryce can continue potting up Sarracenias. I'm sure Vincent is dividing and potting plants, and really hope to see lots of you guys at our future meetings and events. And again, just stay tuned. Michelle's going to start posting stuff on Instagram again, so you guys will have plenty of reminders on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as via email of all the things that are coming up. And we, like I said, look forward to seeing you guys March 18th in Mission Viejo. All right, thank you, everybody.
Hey guys, take care.